Happy December, everyone! In the spirit of this season, this month we are covering the truest gospel from a galaxy far, far away. Thanks to Rogue One coming out December 16th, it's Canon Star Wars month. And what better way to celebrate the canon than by covering the best canon ongoing comic right now that wasn't ongoing. So massive spoilers for the 2015 Darth Vader comic incoming. You've been warned. On with the show!
Book 4, End of Games, Part 5. Silo orders his fleet to move out as Vader stands still unmoving. Within his mind, he is on Mustafar, as Anakin Skywalker. His legs and arm are cut off, with Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan standing over him, saying that he loved him before walking away. But Anakin yells that if Kenobi loved him, he would have killed him. Turning, Obi-Wan picks up Annie's body and hurls him into the lava. But arising from the molten rock and ore, Darth Vader walks onto the boiling beach. He strikes down Obi-Wan, with a shout-out to the whole, "If you strike me down, I shall become stronger." But the retort line of how Vader grew stronger every step he took away from Kenobi is just, I know. I'll wait until the analysis to explode about this. But as he kicks around Obi-Wan's empty robes, a voice echoes over. It's Anakin Skywalker, blue lightsaber in hand. He launches himself at Vader, and they duel, until Vader gets the upper hand. Vader will always be able to defeat Anakin because, and this is probably the darkest quote ever in comic history, "You were a child. I am accustomed to killing children." But before Vader can do anything else, he's back on the metal table that made him more machine than man. Chained to the table as a pregnant Padme begs for Anakin to stay with her. Vader says no. She begs and begs, but he still says no, and starts to force choke her. On the Executor Command Bridge, Vader is shaking, moving forward. He slams his lightsaber into Silo's chest. He killed Anakin. He is a Darth Lord of the Sith, and nothing is impossible for those who wield the Force. Aboard one of Silo's whale ships, Silo 6, remember that he's got the whole immortal Cloudwear thing going, awakens. Vader goes to the Emperor and tells him the ship is back to being his, yet he still has one more problem to deal with before the whole thing is done, and he takes off in his TIE fighter. But we close this issue out with Dr. Aphra entering the throne room, telling Palpatine that she has a few things that the Emperor needs to know about Vader. Right, so let's start with what several people are calling the Birth of Vader issue. And well, it's obvious to see why. The whole of the mental battle with himself, and basically everything about it, was just perfect, from Vader reliving the end of Anakin, even maybe having a little bit of a pity party with saying that Obi-Wan should have killed him if he truly loved him. I mean, I do read way into that, and actually seeing that Anakin's spite as Vader really stems from that scene. Obi-Wan walking away as he suffered on the shores of a burning sea cemented his hatred and feeling of betrayal, especially at seeing someone that says he loves him letting him suffer like that. I think we actually see that echoed in the Mercing killing of Eowyn during the Shu-Turan War, and then battling himself after he killed Obi-Wan, which is something that did actually happen relatively recently in this series. But then there's the duel between Annie and Vader, which I would have liked fleshed out a smidge more, because while it's not shown much, a cinematic feel or even a surrealist feel could have really worked with maybe a back and forth acting as a who's winning, but it still shows that he does feel that Annie's beliefs were childish, and since he was still Sith in his Mustafar look when that happened, I think that can be extended to his childish notions that led him into the dark side. So that's a good segue into what this whole thing means. Well, I think that calling the issue The Death of Anakin or The Birth of Darth Vader by fans works well. The true point of it is that he's finally not struggling with himself. He knew that he turned to the dark side for a childish reason, and he knew that who he was on an emotional level was being really childish, which I think we can all agree was a big flaw in the prequels. Even deeper though, what breaks him free of the mechanical bond is when he finally puts to bed the reason for it all, his love for Padme. That is the real big drawing point that pulled him from the Jedi Order. So he basically erases the whole doubts that came from the struggle of who he was. Sith do not love, and Jedis do not feel unbridled love. He was stuck in the middle. Just go and read this yourself. It's actually probably a quintessential read, particularly for heavy fans of Star Wars. As for the rest, we'll find out what Aphra says and how Vader ends Silo and wraps literally everything up tomorrow with the final issue of this series.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, like, share, and subscribe. As always, if you agree or disagree with me, or just want to add your own comments, theories, or criticisms, leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out my other channels, Comic Sins and The Archivist, links on screen. I also want to give a huge shout out to Star Wars Explained and Star Wars Theory. I may be talking about my views on Darth Vader comics this month, but both of these channels have been spectacular when dealing with the whole of Star Wars, both canon and legends. Links also on screen. And finally, my credits song is lifted from Taylor Davis's epic Star Wars medley. Check out her channel where she plays some epic violin. And as always, stay golden, Inklings.